Hello everyone, welcome to the new channel. Today we are looking at column addition part 1 and this is brought to you by Study with Azaria. So before we start, here's the brain teaser of the day. Which number comes next in the sequence? You think you got it? Stay tuned for the rest of the video and the answers will be up at the end.
So let's get started.
Sum. Find the total of. Add together. These are 3 different ways a question could ask you that you need to add the numbers together.
So let's start with the basics. 4 plus 7. So as a side note, you should already know the numbers you start with should be smaller than your final total. So the answer to this question is 11. 4 plus 7 equals to 11. So one extra point that you guys need to make sure you know are your number bonds from 1 to 20. This will help you find this math skill so easy if you already have the number bond trick up your sleeve and under your belt. So make sure you go and learn those. So here's what I like to call a quick fire question round. I'm going to put some number bonds onto the screen and you have to try and answer as many as possible in your head. Try your best and good luck. Well done if you were able to complete all the questions under the time. If you weren't able to, don't worry, there's always plenty of time to practice, but let's get started with a word problem.
So let's set the scene. Our hard-working, eager-to-learn math student, SpongeBob, has 14 oranges, and his twin, Mr. K, has 22 oranges. So in this instance, a question may ask you, what is the total amount of oranges?
And this is how you would answer the question. So we have 14 oranges and 22 oranges. You want to make sure the large number is on top, and you want to write the numbers directly beneath each other. And before you write the numbers, you want to make sure that you're counting the oranges. During any word problem, they might trick you and maybe say 14 watermelons, 22 oranges, and 13 oranges. You want to make sure you select the numbers which are only the oranges. Oranges and oranges only. Now back to the column addition. After you've put down your two numbers, you want to draw 2 lines for where your answer is going to be. As a side note, you always want to start at the back of the column. If you start at the front or anywhere else, you are sure to get your answer wrong. So make sure you start at the back of the column, not the front. So as we go through this example, I'm going to be using a different coloured pen to write down some side notes. So we're going to start at the back of the column with 2 plus 4, which equals to 6. So you want to write 6 directly below the 2 and the 4. Now we are going to do 2 plus 1. This gives you 3, and you're going to write 3 directly below 2 plus 1. However, we do know in reality it's not just 2 plus 1. Is actually 20 plus 10 due to place value. So, knowing our place value, the 2 and the 4 we started with to make 6 are known as 1s, and the 2 and the 1 that we just used are known as 10s. So try not to get a bit confused, but if you want to pause the video and try to understand, feel free to. So the answer to our column addition, 22 plus 14, gives us 36 oranges as a grand total. So coming back to the topic of wording, some questions will be known to trick you out and trying to get you to add certain different things and certain different totals, but trust me, it is not as confusing as it sounds. You just need to pay attention to the object or the name that they're looking for and everything will go well. So here's a sort of trick question you may be asked. So let's say Lisa has 12 pineapples. Leo has 10 apples and Rihanna has 13 pineapples. So the question may be, how many pineapples are there in total? So let's start by addressing the question. So we can see the question has purposely asked us for the number of pineapples. So you want to go through the 3 statements and circle the numbers that relate to pineapples. So you want what Lisa and Rihanna have but not what Leo has, which are apples, so you want to cross out that statement. And now we are prepared to do the column addition of 12 plus 13 pineapples. So now we're going to draw the two lines and make sure that they're straight and directly beneath the numbers. And remember, we always have to start at the, hopefully you got it, at the back. Yes, we start at the back, not the front and anywhere else. So at the back we have 2 plus 3, which equals to 5. And then we have 1 plus 1, which equals to 2. But then we also have to remember that it's not 1 plus 1, but 10 plus 10 because of place value, and they are known as the tens. But we put the number 2 directly beneath the ones, and that is our answer, 25. We have a direct grand total of 25 pineapples, not apples, in total.
So let's try some more examples of column addition. So you may be asked to do column addition in a word problem, or they may just give you the question itself and all you have to do is write in the numbers. So let's try it with that example.
So we're going to start with 16 plus 12, and we now know that we always start at the back. So 6 plus 2 gives us 8, so we're going to write 8 directly beneath 6 and 2. Then we move on to 1 plus 1, which is 2. But now we know in reality it's actually 10 plus 10 due to place value. And that leaves us with a total of 28. Moving on to question B, we have 33 plus 26. Now let's try doing it without our little notes on the side. So we now know we always start at the back, which leaves us with 3 plus 6, which is 9. So you write 9 directly below 3 and 6. And we also have 3 plus 2, which gives us 5. So we write 5 directly under 3 and 2. Look how easy that was. We only had to write 2 numbers down and we have answered the question. And that gives us a total of 59. And now we have another question. 42 plus 37. So we always start at the back with 2 plus 7, which equals to 9. And then we have 4 plus 3, which equals to 7, making sure we write the numbers directly beneath the column addition. And there we have it, an easy total of 79. I'm now going to write a few questions on the screen. Try your best to answer them and write them down on a piece of paper. Just remember these 3 rules. Always start at the back, pay attention to place value, and finally write all your numbers down directly underneath each other. Now pause the video now to try and answer these questions, and I'll write the answers down soon. So hopefully you're back from answering your questions. So we're going to start from 23 plus 14. We start at the back. 3 plus 4 equals to 7. Write that down. Then we have 2 plus 1, but really in reality it's 20 plus 10, which gives you 3. 2 plus 1 gives you 3. Now the second question, 17 plus 42. This is a bit of a bigger step because we're not going to write the little side notes. So let's do 7 plus 2 will give you 9, which you'll write directly underneath the numbers. And then you have 1 plus 4, which will give you 5. Total of 59. Question 3 is 56 plus 43. We start at the back. 6 plus 3, which gives you 9. Then we have 5 plus 4, which gives you 9. But really in reality, it's 50 plus 40. And that's it. Those 3 questions simply done in basically under 10 seconds. So let me leave you guys with one final word problem. So let's say we have our lovely Kermit, yes, our favourite Muppet of them all, has 37 ice creams and his mum has 21 ice creams. So a question in this instance may ask you, what is the total amount of ice creams? So let's start by addressing the question. So we know that 37 ice creams was what Kermit had. Ooh, don't know why it's been a bit funny. 37 ice creams. So we're going to make sure it's definitely ice creams, and we see that it is ice creams. And now we see his mum has 21 ice creams. And ice creams nonetheless, so we know we definitely have to add 37 and 21. So we want to write our 37 plus 21 in column addition form, and you want to make sure you draw your 2 numbers underneath it. So now we always start at the back. So 7 plus 1 gives you 8, and 3 plus 2 gives you 5. And simply like that, we now know the total of ice creams is 58, the sum of Kermit's ice creams and his mum's.
So quickly coming back to the brain teaser that we started at the beginning of the video, the answer is actually 16. So here's a little explanation behind it. So we can see there's a reoccurring pattern between sevens being mentioned every second number. So we can see that it goes 2, 7, 4, 7, 8, 7. So we can see that every even number of the sequence there is a 7. But the missing number we're trying to find is the fifth number in the sequence, so it can't be a 7. So we have to look at the relation between the 2, the 4 and the 8. So as we can see, to get to 2 to 4, you can either add 2 or times by 2. But from 4 to 8, you can only times by 2 or plus 4. And the common rule between these two is timesing by 2. So therefore, that has to be the same rule. So from 8 to times by 2, you get 16, which is the answer.
And that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed watching and now know how column addition works. And here's a little meme to leave you guys off with, and 3 questions to think about or explain to your parents to see what you've learnt. And if you really enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and press a like. And if you want to see more videos, feel free to comment down below. Thank you!